Welcome to the Air Force Gradcast. I'm Vince Greco, parent of a 2017 grad.
And I'm Navira Walkowitz, class of 99, proud mom to two cadets in the classes of 27 and 28.
In this edition of Gradcast, we cover major academy milestones as the newest class gets to work and prepares for March back later this month. We'll talk about the stunning new 3,500-pound class ring replica coming to Yost Plaza, a powerful story about replacing a graduate's lost A jacket, and head to Texas for our AOG chapter check-in. It's all about honoring our history, celebrating the Long Blue Line Awards, and supporting the future of our graduate community. You won't want to miss it.
You're not kidding, Vince. There's so much to cover this month, so we should just jump right in with the news.
Let's do it.
Right away, we want to share with you your AOG Board of Directors meeting is taking place this month on Friday, July 24th from 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's over in Doolittle Hall. Local graduates are welcome to attend in person, and those that are not local are able to participate by viewing this online. Watch for an email with directions on how to register to live stream the meeting.
A great service for our grads for sure. Also, in July, the ribbon cutting for the Distinguished Graduate Award Memorial being constructed on the Heritage Trail between Doolittle and Wecker Halls. The memorial is being dedicated on July 23rd and creates a more sustainable way to honor DGs.
And you know, Vince, I feel like that is such a great way to really honor them, as you mentioned, because, we are having our newest Distinguished Graduate Award dinner coming up following March back just that weekend. And so, as you said, we continue to recognize these Lifetime Achievement Award winners. And as this really continues on throughout our, future history, we want to make sure that we can honor them properly. So having this memorial is just wonderful.
You're not wrong. And it's a great memorial. I would encourage visitors to head out to the Heritage Trail and to check it out.
Yes.
And Yost Plaza, also between Doolittle and Wecker Halls, will look a bit different not long from now. The new 12-foot replica of a USAFA class ring has been installed. Fun facts, the ring was crafted of stainless steel by a Colorado foundry, and it weighs about 3,500 pounds. The stone on top is made of stained glass and was created by the same company working on the Cadet Chapel stained glass panels.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, speaking of other news.
And we have a lot of that, Navir. In fact, your two newest episodes of Long Blue Leadership are out. In The Power of Influence, Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Paveway Bledsoe, class of 2011, shares how great leaders earn trust, build relationships, and create influence long before they have formal authority. And your newest episode dropped just this week. In Finding Your Voice, Lieutenant Colonel retired Kimberly Ford, class of 1990, reflects on finding the confidence to lead authentically, which goes to show that leadership isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's really about becoming the fullest expression of who you are.
I think it's a wonderful conversation that many, many will want to listen to.
Myself included. And you can listen anytime wherever you get your podcast or visit usafa.org/longblueleadership. That's usafa.org/longblueleadership.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, if you've ever wanted to own a piece of Academy history, the Association and Foundation offers a unique opportunity. You can purchase a ceremonial 5-foot by 9-foot American flag, and it has flown over Doolittle Hall right here at the United States Air Force Academy.
I think the Flown Flag program is really, it's unknown, but it's so special. Oftentimes, there are many things that, a cadet goes through, and many of us have experienced this as graduates. And this is a way for families to kind of note that experience, have a flag flown, and a certificate is generated that really identifies that moment in time. And so when a cadet graduates, just like the way that we have our diploma and other things that we carry throughout our careers, this is an opportunity to have a flag that shared some experiences and moments with you while at the academy.
It's a great opportunity. Now, to purchase a flag or to learn more, visit the Association and Foundation's online shop at shop.usafa.org. That's shop.usafa.org. For personal assistance, contact Shella Hines right here at Wecker Hall, 719-472-0300.
Yes, Shella is fantastic, and she will be so happy to help you.
We're happy to help her as a part of the staff. We get to go out and pull up the flags and bring them down so that it's quite a job.
It is. It's an important one. It's so special. And speaking of things that are special, this one really touches my heart. So, Vince, our work is it's personal, right? We have a
Yes.
relationship with our graduates, and everything we do is really in support of our academy, our graduates, and our history. And so this one is special because recently, Captain Waverly Hawk, she's class of 2017, she lost her A jacket and many other personal possessions due to a house fire. And so, whenever these tragedies happen, I think there's an immediate response amongst the graduate community of what can we do? Well, here at the ANF, we actually helped provide a replacement A jacket, fully outfitted. And, she shared a letter back to us. When she got that A jacket, it took her right back to her cadet days, reminded her of friendships and memories that remain important to her. And she really shared that although many of her belongings were lost, she will proudly wear her A jacket to her 10-year reunion next year, calling the ANF support something that meant more than she can express. I think that's just incredible.
It's a great story. And it kind of exemplifies what we're trying to do at the ANF. It's
Right.
about our current cadets. It's about our graduates. And these stories, they make my heart warm. It's
Yes.
really a special event. And I'm glad that she wrote back and expressed her gratitude and how it made her feel proud.
Absolutely. And I love that we could be part of, while it was something so tragic and something that was very difficult for her to go through, we could be part of the bright spot in that.
Well, if you want to be a part of something else and you want to make a difference in the life of an Air Force Academy cadet, now is your perfect opportunity. The Academy is seeking families in the Colorado Springs area to participate in its cadet sponsor program, which provides cadets with a home away from home and a support network that extends beyond the Academy.
Oh gosh, I remember my sponsor family, and that relationship is so important. And to have a place where you can really, I remember getting there on dually day out and putting my head on a pillow because all they said was, we just want you to be comfortable. We have food. Here's your room. And they just let me sleep. It was wonderful.
And we sponsored several cadets a couple of years ago, probably longer than that, more like 17, 18, 19. And they were athletes because my daughter was an athlete here. But you're right. It was just, here's the garage door code. Here's the key. Come on in.
Right.
They were like one of our kids. And I think
Absolutely.
it's important for them to just get away from some of the everyday activities and lifestyle up here at the Academy and just be a normal person.
That's so important. And so Vince, maybe you'll do it again. But if anyone is interested, you can contact the Cadet Sponsor Office. And here's the email address, cadet.sponsor@afacademy.af.edu.
Sign up. It's really important. All right, that's it for the news. Let's jump into events.
Let's do it. And we recently welcomed the class of 2030, which is about, I think we had, obviously around 1,000, but they're family members. So we had several thousand family members and appointees join us at our annual Appointee and Family Welcome Day on June 23rd. I'm not going to share very much more about that because we have one of our colleagues, Jen Cooper, our senior director of engagement and events, sharing more details in our spotlight. But what an incredible way to welcome all of those new members into our Long Blue Line at our campus there in Doolittle Hall, Wecker Hall, etc.
It's a fantastic event, but Navir, can you wrap your head around the fact that it's the class of 2030?
I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that my son, and I remember him being in this, in that kind of appointee standpoint, sent me a picture of himself in his cadre attire and said, "I day ready." So that's what I'm wrapping my head around.
Wow. Well, speaking of I-Day, the preppies have arrived. In-processing is happening now through July 15th. And the prep school also has a new commander. Let's all welcome Colonel Andrew Clemenson, class of 02.
So many things happening in July. And then after the prep school I-Day, we're going to bring those basics back from Jacks Valley.
Yep.
They're coming back on July 24th, and graduates are invited to join in that march back. You can go to our events page, usafa.org/events, and sign up. You want to make sure you register because you have to be registered to get on the bus from the field house. go over to Jack's Valley, and then march back.
Are you going to do it this year?
You know it.
You'll be leading the
It's
charge.
tradition now, since doing it with my boys when they were basics, and now being able to actually march back with them while they're cadre. It will be really fantastic to march back again.
Well, there's going to be a lot going on that weekend of July 24th and 25th. We also have that Distinguished Graduates Leadership Achievement Award honorees, Young Alumni Excellent Award recipients, and recognition of the Sullenberger Award for Courage honoree. And you can view their profiles at USAFA.org.
Oh, yes. That weekend is so incredible. And again, if you come back for March Back, highly encourage you to register for the Long Blue Line Awards reception, which happens just in advance of the Distinguished Graduate Award dinner. Those are just real opportunities to celebrate our graduate community and all the incredible things they're doing, whether it's near term to graduation or as they've achieved amazing things in their lifetimes.
It's a great day and a great event. And we're not done yet. Let's talk about the Acceptance Day Parade. That will take place next month, August 5th, on the parade field, Steelman Field.
So all you cadet parents out there, be sure to check that out, especially if you're basic cadet parents, to join in viewing that Acceptance Day Parade. And last, our events we want to highlight on July 16th, we have Evan Dudosky, class of 2008. He is leading as our Next Gen Advisory Council host for our Next Gen Presents webinar on careers in management consulting. And so as you continue to explore what may be on your path, whether it's, after you've done 20 years, a full career, or if you transition a little sooner, we want to make sure we're helping you in that transition. So check it out. It's on, you can go to usafa.org/nextgen and find that, and it will also be emailed out.
You'll love hearing from Evan. Great guy. And
Such
he'll
a great
have
guy.
a lot to offer in that webinar for sure.
Yes. Well, next we have our chapter check-in with Chris Bennett. He'll be joined by Tom Solomon from the Houston, Texas AOG chapter. Stand by.
Hello, USAFA graduate community. Chris Bennett checking in for today's chapter check-in. And joining me today is Tom Solomon, class of 1969, and the president of the Association of Graduates Houston chapter. Hey, Tom, it's so great to have you with us today.
Well, it's great to be here, Chris. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Hey, Tom, why don't you start by sharing with our graduate community your journey after graduation in 1969 and how you came to plant a flag in Houston, Texas.
Well, I'm a native-born Texan, so it was never any question that whenever I got out, I was going to pursue the future in Texas. Sixth generation ancestors were here before and fought in the Revolution, Texas Revolution. So there was no doubt I was coming back to Texas. And the place to go, of course, is the bigger cities at that time. And Houston was the biggest and looked like it was going to have the most thriving economy. So that seemed to be the logical choice.
So tell us maybe a little bit about after you separated from the service, what you chose to do in your civilian profession.
Well, I had, by the time I graduated, my vision had gone from 20/20 to I couldn't be even a navigator. And I'd taken some law courses at the academy, and one of them was a constitutional law course taught by the then head JAG. He was also not only an instructor, professor, but he was also the head of the Air Force Academy's JAG unit. And he had called me over, looked at my glasses and said, you're not going to be able to fly. And I said, yes. And he said, well, you really ought to consider going to law school as soon as you can, because I think you would. I think you've got what it takes. I'd never considered being a lawyer. That's what rich folks did. I was a poor kid from Waco, Texas, or actually Belmead, Texas. So, had not it been for that advice, I'm not sure I would ever even thought about going to law school.
Let's shift a little bit, Tom. Talk about the chapter there in Houston. When did it start, and what's kind of the main focus of your particular chapter?
We don't have a large footprint here at all. I think maybe one time it was larger than it is now. The first iteration was back in the 80s. And then because we had several grads who were astronauts, they were able to pull in the NASA people to be part of the chapter. And it lasted about 4 or 5 years, then died a natural death whenever the person who was leading it, he was a Southwest pilot, and he got transferred to another city. So I rekindled it in 2004. I sort of have to talk about it and the Academy Association hand in hand because everyone who's a member of the USAFA chapter is also a member of the Academy Association. And the original Academy Association, I started along with one of my classmates, Bob Troy, who also was in 28th Squadron our junior year, whenever we first stood it up. And we talked about the fact that A&M had a tremendous presence here. University of Texas has a tremendous presence here, as do the Ivy Leagues. And we were thinking about how great it would be to have a organization where all the service academies were represented. And we got in touch with the presidents of the other federal service academies because we have Coast Guard, we have Merchant Marine, of course, we have Army and Navy. And we started that because networking in the early 90s was the key to survival. We had a large depression, literally a depression in Houston at that time. And we banded together, had weekly meetings, and it helped a lot of us survive because it was for business networking. And again, that lasted 5 or 6 years and went away for various reasons. But I decided in 2004 to rekindle both of them. I'd reached a point in my career, I had my own practice, that I could take the time that I thought it was going to take to do it. And so we kindled both of them within a month of each other.
You talked about that Academy Association, the confluence of West Point, Annapolis, Air Force Academy, maybe the other two you mentioned as well. And they meet the second Friday of every month. So for grads that are looking to network in and around Houston, how do they get plugged in and attend and connected to you?
Oh, it's very simple. Just send me an email, tell me you want to be on the list.
For all the grads out there, you can find Tom's email on our webpage, usafa.org, under chapters, and click his name, and you'll be in instant contact with Tom quite easily. Share with our grad community how that long blue line and the mentoring and the networking that you've had has had an impact upon your career, your life, and now that, how do you pass that gift on to others that you get to meet with?
It was a short blue line. We were the 11th class, I guess, to graduate. There was no one to point us, the way to go whenever we got out. Matter of fact, we had no instructors at the academy who were graduates because we were only 7 had graduated when we got there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no long blue line. There was not any kind of blue line. And that was kind of what we were trying to establish back in the 1980s. And then now. So where we are, most of us, I used to have 3 classmates here. We're down to 2. We were the mentors. Now we did business with each other and learned from each other. So we kind of mentored ourselves, but there was no, that was that was one of the primary reasons that we tried to get something started way back when, is to compete with those schools who did. I remember going to A&M, what they call the muster, and they would have 5 or 6 a week because they had so many graduates. And I remember watching one of them where there was a speaker talking about jobs and things that he had available. And there was people standing in the background taking notes and saying, okay, I know somebody for this job. Hey, but, and they were setting up within themselves to find jobs for these people. And we wanted to replicate that. Obviously, there's no way we'll ever have a footprint like A&M. They have 50,000 students a year there. So we're never going to meet that, but this was our attempt to, and it's been very successful.
Talking to that grad community that's out there, how would you tell them or express to them the value of staying connected to that long blue line or gray line, as it may be, when they have so many choices that are pulling at their time and their attention, the value of what that network provides?
I think it was best put by one of the class of 70 who used to be a spark plug of our group before he passed away. And he was very fond of saying when he would meet someone that he'd never met before, but who was a grad, he says, I don't know you, but I know you very well. I know what your core beliefs are, what your core values are. I know if you tell me something, I can take it to the bank. And that's the value of it. I learned a long time ago that if I was doing a deal and I had either a grad or even another military veteran on the other side, things went much easier because you knew if they said they were going to do something, they were going to do it. If they made a promise to you, they were going to keep it. Well, that's what we bring to the table. I mean, the grad community, and we bring it to each other. What we do here I don't think is unusual or, special or to us. We just try to create the same kind of camaraderie we had at the squadron level at the academy and the company level at West Point and platoon level whenever they graduated. And for us, either squadron or the unit that you were with. People that you know, people that you can trust, people who are like-minded, people that you can count on if you need somebody to come help you.
That's such a great testimony to the unique caliber of a service academy graduate. And you talked about squadrons, and so you and I both being graduates of CS 28, that has yet another level of that connectivity and trust. Hey, if you went through and you became a blackbird along the way, you know that that's a stand-up man or woman. So let me ask you this question to wrap up today. You continue to stay engaged with our graduate community years after your graduation. So what motivates you to continue to do that today when you certainly don't necessarily have to?
Oh, it's simple. It's our extended family. We have a very close-knit family here. It spreads across all service academies, and it. I wouldn't leave Houston just for that reason, because I will continue doing this as long as I can. I think everyone else feels the same way. I know I just had a classmate who relocated back to uh, another city, for family reasons, and he was very sad to leave because he had called back and talked to grads there, and he said they don't have anything like this there. And I said, well, why don't you start one? He thought about it and said, well, maybe I can do that. You know, it's hard to explain, but it's really a simple concept. It's just like being back at the academy with people you can trust. We get together. We have parties. We have watch parties. We get together once a month. Uh, some of us twice a month, and then I have a group that comes over after the meetings, and we still. It's just like sitting around at a family reunion, except we get to do it 50 times a month.
Well, you talked about returning back to the academy. It's like being back at the academy. So when was the last time you came back to USAFA, and how did that stir up thoughts or memories, or did you have chances to interact with cadets? Share us a little bit of your last visit back to the mothership.
Sure. Well, I've been to every reunion that we've had. As a matter of fact, my class for a long time had many reunions in Texas every year. It's like what I talked about being here with the group in Houston. You go back and you see people that you haven't seen in years, and you reconnect, and you know that these are your people. It's bonding through shared hardship. We all went through hardship for a year, and we've formed bonds that if you had never been in the military, I think there's probably little chance that you would understand what we're talking about, but I'm sure you do. I'm sure your class is the same way, and I'm sure that your class has meetings with each your squadron, your fourth class squadron, and your graduation squadron when you go back, and that's just part of what keeps you going. Is you get to see your friends and your classmates, and then drink a toast to those who are no longer with us.
Thank you so much for your time today, Tom, and for sharing your story of your chapter, your experiences, a reflection on your military career, your civilian career, and how USAFA has been foundational and fundamental to your life. So with us today has been Tom Solomon, class of 1969, and the president of the Houston chapter of the Association of Graduates. To our entire grad community out there, thanks for listening today. If you want to find out more about a chapter, visit our website at usafa.org. You can check out Get Involved and discover a chapter in your local area. Or if you find there's not one there right now, you can just start up one on your own and figure out who wants to lead that local chapter. Thanks again, Tom, for your time today, and I wish you the very best.
It was my pleasure.
Thanks so much, Chris. Well, I'm really excited. I'm joined here today for our Donor Impact Spotlight with our Senior Director of Engagement and Events, Jen Cooper. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Navir. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And many folks may not know that some of our giving, the support that we get financially, really helps fund this incredible day, our Appointee and Family Welcome Day.
We just hosted our 5th annual. It's a really special day where we get to welcome the appointees and their family of friends to the Academy.
It's incredible. I mean, just being there, this is the 3rd time I've had the opportunity to participate. I know you said it's the 5th one we've hosted, but it's so special for those families because many of them don't really know what to expect about the Academy.
Right. It's an opportunity for families and parents, especially, who have questions about what's in store for their appointee. But it's also an opportunity for the appointee to meet up with their squadron before they head into basic training. And it just provides them a little bit of reassurance and a connection to someone they maybe had electronically and they're meeting for the first time in person. And we have that at our squadron meetup assignment. It's a big draw for the event.
Huge draw. I think being able to meet someone before your head is shaved, if you're one of the guys,
Right.
You have a familiar set of eyes looking at you. Your team does an incredible job of this. And it's not just the staff of the association and foundation. And we bring in a lot of community, maybe not community-wide, but there's a lot of other groups that come in to support this as well. Can you talk about some of those?
Sure. Our premier sponsor for that event last month was USAA. And it was really an opportunity for them to introduce themselves to the appointees and their parents and families. And they're a really special partner for us. We also were joined by Hotel Polaris, as well as Jostens, who provided our rings, the Colorado Springs Airport, which we know families will be utilizing during visits. Of course, the Fighting Falcon Home Team, which is our real estate partner, and the Colorado State Patrol. So we have a lot of generous partners who are on site for this event, as well as some of the cadet clubs that see this as maybe an opportunity to socialize and promote the work that they do, and perhaps recruit some new members as they head into the academic year. So
I think that's fantastic, especially when you think about when our the community gives, right? Whether it's graduates, whether it's parents and families, anytime we give to the association and foundation, this is one of the ways we can give back, right? We bring out this event for them, but also we support the cadet clubs and much more.
Yes, I think through especially our annual giving opportunities, One Day, One USAFA that we held back in May, it is really an opportunity for families to make a generous gift toward cadet clubs. And that helps their cadet have a diverse experience here at the Academy. So I think, we have representation from the men's rugby team, the Blue Bars, which is the theater troupe, right? We had the motorcycle club here. So we had a huge attendee list of clubs, but we were still missing just a few because, as you know, those clubs are led by cadets and they have their summer commitment. So not everyone was able to be in attendance, but we did have the liaison for all cadet clubs here, and she was able to talk a lot about the work that we're doing. We also had Drum and Bugle on site. So that was exciting because we do a lot with them, obviously, as we head into our fall tailgate season.
Yes. Well, what a huge event, because while we do have all of those organizations and those in support of it as well, it gives us an opportunity as the association and foundation to really, foster that connection with our community about how they can be part of this. They're part of the Long Blue Line family, right? Whether through membership as graduates or through our family plan or our Husky Club when our prep school appointees come in. So many may not know that for our graduate community, membership is for all now. It's at no cost when graduates opt in. And some of the things that we offer here at the Association and Foundation from a membership perspective for our families is really incredible. It gives them insight into the cadet experience through our web guide. It gives Zoomy delivery service. There are so many things. And I think really connection through the parent and family application so that they can actually stay connected with other families and see what's new at our Doolittle Outfitters store.
Yes, and I would add also the parent membership guide, which is a little brochure, and it actually goes through the life cycle of the cadet. And it's very helpful in terms of events that are happening, not just here at Doolittle campus, but across the entire academy, so that they can have awareness of those events and activities to help celebrate and understand what their cadet might be experiencing.
Oh my goodness. Well, Jen, this has been incredible. I think you had over, 3/4 of the class of appointees came in and their families. So it was a huge event.
Yes, we were really happy to have welcomed over 700 appointees plus their family. We were able to partner with our caterer, Famous Dave's, and of course, one of the local ice cream stores here in Colorado Springs, Josh and John's, that were able to give out scoops of ice cream from their scoop bus, which is always a huge hit.
Always a hit.
And then, of course, this day is a really special opportunity to coalesce the entire organization. It's a team effort, and I'm just grateful for all of my colleagues who could help support it.
Well, we love Appointee and Family Welcome Day. We thank you so much for sharing this on our Donor Impact Spotlight. And we hope that the next time you're thinking about giving, this is one of the things you can be sure it's going towards.
Thank you.
Thanks. Coming up next, we have the Gradcast special feature featuring Doug Edwards, class of 94, and he and a couple of other graduates have stood up a new group called USAFA Entrepreneurs. Stay tuned to learn more. One of the great strengths of the Long Blue Line is that graduates continue finding new ways to help one another long after they've left the academy. Today, I'm excited to have Doug Edwards, class of 94, founder of the USAFA Entrepreneurs Group. Doug enjoyed an accomplished career helping build innovative organizations, including leadership roles with Amazon and MetroStar, where he worked on some of the company's most significant public sector initiatives. Today, he's helping fellow graduates who've taken the entrepreneurial path to connect, to learn from one another, and grow in their businesses. Doug, welcome to Gradcast.
Thanks, Navir. Thank you so much for having me. This is exciting.
Absolutely. And so we just want to jump right in and understand what inspired this action, this group.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it won't surprise anyone. You get to a point of reflection, and you realize that the academy and that experience left an indelible mark on you, which it absolutely did. And as I began to think through that and decide to really get more active and participate more in what was going on at the academy, that naturally happened through my class and a reunion. And our gift that we ended up putting together for the Hotel Polaris, which has really been an amazing journey. But along that, I realized how disconnected I had become from my classmates and from the academy and the grad experience as a whole. And that's what kind of inspired me to say, how can, there's only certain ways you can give back. This time, talent, and treasure is what we all have, right? And so how can I give back to the grad community? And it occurred to me that that disconnection that I had wasn't unique to me and my classmates. As a grad community, we have many ways we can get more connected. And I decided that that professional connection is one that I wanted to explore. And in doing that, it became a natural inflection point to say, how do I get more grads together to do business together?
I love this. And I think that the idea of being an entrepreneur sounds very individual, right? It's a solo act, so to speak, but it probably really isn't. And I'm curious if you can share, why actually you believe this community needs each other.
Yeah. And the funny thing about the word entrepreneur, it does come across like, okay, I'm doing this all by myself. But
Right.
everybody knows success is never achieved alone, right?
That's right.
So whether you're in a startup and you're operating out of your garage, or you're a Fortune 500 company executive, right? You're still an entrepreneur because you're driving initiatives, you're driving new things, and in that respect, that's why why do we need each other? Because nothing happens alone. Nothing happens in a vacuum. And supporting each other along that growth continuum from startup to, sitting in the C-suite of a large company, you need partners, and you need partners you could trust.
I think about just the graduate community writ large and how there are many groups that come together. I think there are likely other service, academy, business-minded groups. My question is, what makes USAFA entrepreneurs different? Or unique, perhaps might be a better word.
I think USAFA entrepreneurs, the uniqueness is that, well, first of all, we've never done it, right? That's pretty unique. The second part of this is that through our shared experience at the Air Force Academy, it doesn't matter whether you are a 2025 grad or you're a 1959 grad. There is a shared experience there culturally that shaped our character, and that experience is what makes all the difference. The leadership, the partnership, and the growth are all essential and value adds to any business relationship. So I think that's what makes us unique in this community. And yeah, there are service academy entrepreneurial groups that are not the Air Force Academy, but ours is definitely going to be different because we get to focus on us and where we came from and what we do together and understand together.
I love how you kind of couched it with, it could be from 2025 back to 1959. So USAFA graduates, obviously. Can you tell more about, what maybe within the group you're doing and what members who join kind of gain from this experience in USAFA entrepreneurs?
Membership is grads, but I also, want to have a little bullet, and we can talk about this more here in a second, and
Okay.
cadets. cadets are eligible, we've made that decision to have cadets eligible as well. And what do you get out of that experience? In our very exclusive private group, where you have to be part of the Long Blue Line or aspiring to do so, to be a part of this group, you get the opportunity to maybe network with some grads that maybe you would not have come across in your normal path of life, right? Because they're younger or older than you. And you have the ability to leverage all of that experience, background, and talent that they bring to bear by connecting with each other. And it's so easy to start the conversation with another grad and who has that shared experience, the shared vernacular, and it just becomes a very natural, easy thing to do.
And so I know you have an exciting event coming up soon, but I'm curious, since you just recently launched, what is something that has surprised you so far?
It's how natural it has felt and how effective it has been.
Mm.
It goes back to that shared experience from a quick conversation with a good friend of mine and classmate Tom Razalovich and another good friend of mine, Josh Weed. The next thing you know, we have a trade association. We have over 200 members in the association, and we're growing rapidly in just a handful of months. And it's been truly rewarding to see a small group of grads. There's other of us who have put some shoulder into this to get it going, but it's literally a very small group of us, and our diverse backgrounds and collective talent and experience has been powerfully eye-opening. And I think it's almost the first use case of what happens when grads come together in business. I think it's a truly exceptional superpower. And I'm excited to see how this, from this very early stage to maturity, how far we can go.
We are so excited that this group has been stood up, and you shared some of the results in this near term of just how it's grown. I'm curious though, what are some of the expectations you have for USAFA entrepreneurs in the near term and in the long term?
We are excited to have our inaugural event on the 16th of July in DC at the Wharf Penthouse at 1000 Main from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We have a keynote from the Assistant Secretary of Transportation, the Honorable Dan Edwards, and a Rockstar CEO panel with Mary O'Brien, retired Lieutenant General and CEO of Mary O'Brien Strategies, Mark Cherry, who has held multiple C-suite positions in several companies, most recently as the CEO of Align Precision, and Micah Mossman, the founder and CEO of Pueo, which is a Rockstar company here in town. We'll have plenty of time to connect and network for business in that forum and have a shared beverage and some food. And then
That sounds exciting.
You bet, Navir. And then as a follow-on, we will continue to strive to have quarterly events. Some of them will be here in DC. Some of them will be around the country. Ultimately, we want to have an annual multi-day conference at the Academy, hopefully the Hotel Polaris, where we have the opportunity to gather and really mentor one another, network some more, find some opportunities to partner, invest in one another, and potentially raise capital.
That is phenomenal. And I think, I was actually going to ask you, when they come to these events, what should be the expectation, or maybe what should they be prepared for? And aside from hearing from some amazing, like you said, rock stars in this space, I think the ability to really have an opportunity to present maybe even some cases forward that could be investable or, actually drive further activity down the road is very exciting for our graduate community.
I want to make sure that we're really clear about this. Whether you are thinking about starting a business, you have started one, or you're in business today, or you're thinking about going into a different market or a different business, come, check it out. See what you can get done in this room, because you never know where this community can take you. And I believe we got some rocket fuel here, even in the very, very early stages, to meet the needs that you have, to get you and where your great ideas, your great innovation can get you rocking and rolling and build you to where you want to go.
Boom. Well, you heard it right here. Doug said it best. If you are really wanting to learn more about the USAFA Entrepreneurs Group, here's the website, USAFAentrepreneurs.com, USAFAentrepreneurs.com. You can absolutely find Doug Edwards on LinkedIn, as well as Josh Weed and Tom Razalovich. Doug, this has been an amazing conversation and one that I think will get our graduates excited because we really are trying to meet our graduates where they live, work, and serve. And this is just a way that we're meeting them yet again as they embark on something new or perhaps just expanded in their lives.
Thanks for having me today. And yes, please reach out on LinkedIn. Love to connect with everyone. You can also just search on LinkedIn for USAFA Entrepreneurs and you will find us.
Thanks so much, Doug.
Thank you, Navir.
Mine and Navir's favorite part of the show is coming up. That's when we get to tell you how to stay connected and up to date. But first, a message from our partners and friends at Doolittle Outfitters.
The weather is finally cooperating, and if you're planning to hit those links, there's one stop you might want to make first. That's Doolittle Outfitters. Whether you're shopping for yourself or looking for the perfect gift for a fellow grad or your grad, the USAFA Golf Collection features Academy-inspired polos, hats, outerwear, and accessories, all designed to help you show your Air Force Academy pride wherever you play. As the official store of the Association and Foundation, Doolittle Outfitters offers licensed apparel and gifts that celebrate the heritage and traditions of the Long Blue Line. You can stop by Doolittle Hall on campus or shop anytime at shop.usafa.org. And here's a bonus. Association and Foundation members and parent members receive 15% off your entire purchase when you shop the USAFA Golf Collection in-store or online. Some exclusions will apply. The USAFA Golf Collection, for golfing, for gifting, and for showing your Academy pride. Available exclusively at Doolittle Outfitters and online at shop.usafa.org.
All right, we're back, Vince, and I chuckled in your when you're highlighting what's coming next because I know you secretly really want to do this part.
Maybe in August, I'll make that a goal to do that.
Okay, well, you all heard it here first, so now we got to hold him to it. But we want to make sure you know how to stay connected. So first of all, you can find all of our materials, everything that we're talking about, on our home website, usafa.org. Anything related to Gradcast, check us out at usafa.org/Air Force Gradcast. Of course, you can always email Vince and I directly. We love your stories, just like we shared about the captain and her A jacket. Feel free to email us at gradcast@usafa.org. All of our episodes of Long Blue Leadership can be found on, you got it, usafa.org/Long Blue Leadership. And finally, any parents and friends and family that are part of our membership there, you can go to the USAFA Parents and Family app, which is available on the Apple App Store and on Google Play. Vince, I didn't even take like a crazy breath. That was pretty impressive. I impressed myself.
I was going to say, I don't want any part of that. I could never top that. Literally.
You can't take it back.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, I'll practice now for August. How about that?
Perfect.
Well,
all right.
I think that's going to do it for this edition of the Air Force Gradcast.
If you know someone who should reconnect with their Long Blue Line family, be sure to send them this podcast because it's the perfect place for them to do that. Until next time,
We'll see you on Gradcast.
Aw, Vince, we did this so much better in June. What happened?
Well, July, we're thinking about vacation, PTO. We're checked out.
Yes. No, it's Vince, y'all. Just, it's Vince. We'll see you on the Gradcast. Check us out next month.
This edition of the Air Force Gradcast was recorded on Tuesday, June 30th, 2026.